So since we're coming into Holy Week, those of you in the Philippines, of course, have already started. Well, basically we have here as well. This is Sunday evening, Palm Sunday. I thought I'd give you a little bit of information about what goes on during Holy Week in the Philippines. Tok Tok Kali has on his vlog has already put up a thing about going to church on Palm Sunday, and Brian there at Philly in the Philippines has also put up a piece on that. I invite you all to check out their sites if you haven't. Tok Tok Kali and Philly in the Philippines. A couple of good sites. Seem like nice guys. Haven't met them in person, but they could be fooling me, but they seem like nice guys. Anyway, so we'll talk about the what goes on in the Philippines. Now, I do want to tell you, I'm going to give you what actually goes on. And one year we were over there, I took some pictures, and the pictures are graphic. There is some blood involved. So if that's going to be a problem, prepare to fast forward or whatever is necessary for you. So here we go. You'll see that one of the things that happens during Holy Week is in the different barangays throughout the town. This is all takes place, by the way, in San Antonio, Zambales. And here we are in Barangay Burgos, I should say, for those of you who may not know. Barangay would be similar to what we would think of as a barrio. As a matter of fact, years ago, they were called barrios, and then they switched from the Spanish word barrio to the Tagalog word barangay. Barangays are further subdivided into puroks, P-U-R-O-K. Anyway, so they'll set up these different stations in the barangay, and a procession will go on through. This one in particular, which was pretty close to our home, I believe that's the Virgin Mary. It's set up, and the penitents, people who were walking around along the procession, will stop here, rest and pray, and then move on to the next station. So you see they come along, and it's easy to pick out the penitents, and those are people who are just along sort of to process with them, to offer aid or whatever. The gentleman in the middle there in the front, you can see, is attached to a board which keeps his arms out as if he was nailed to a cross. Many of them will cover their faces, I think because, and I'm not sure about this, but I think it's because they're doing this not to gain public acclaim or anything, but it's something between them and God that they have determined they were going to do, and so they're not looking to be recognized, although I suspect their friends know who they are. So part of what goes on is they have said during the year that if God does thus and such, they will do these acts, or if they feel they've sinned considerably, they'll do these activities as acts of penitence. What they will do is they flagellate themselves. You'll see later they have a handle with usually some sort of rope attached to it, and then to the end of that are bamboo pieces of bamboo or some other device that they can then slap themselves on the back with to sort of emulate some of the things that happened at Christ. when they get to the stations, well, before they start, and then when they get to these stations, if it's deemed necessary by either them or their handlers, they will further use a razor to produce little tiny cuts in the skin, so that there's some blood involved, and then as they flagellate themselves, the blood spreads and makes quite a picture. But there's the blood is something that sort of spreads and looks a lot worse than it really is, and I think that is in fact the case here. Not that these guys are comfortable at all, but it's not life-threatening or anything like that. So they stop at the station, rest and pray, and are further prepared as necessary, and then move on to the next station. Now you can see the fellow who's kind of silhouette there. It almost looks like he has a stick out, but what that is the device. In his case, there's no handle. There's just a rope with bamboo sticks tied to the end of it that he beats himself with on the back. And the fella over there on the left, you get another picture of what those things can look like. What looks like a stick is actually a piece of rope. It just, pardon my non-scientific term, but a centrifugal force holds it out there, making it look like it's a stick. The other thing that they'll often do is some of them will carry a cross, and this is a big piece of lumber, and the thing is heavy, and they carry it for quite some distance. So this is also not an easy thing. There's some other people that generally go with them and will occasionally help to some degree with the cross, but they do carry that cross. And again, they'll stop at the various stations and rest and pray, and then move on to the next station. This fella has put his cross down for a moment, and then he'll take up his cross and move again. The other thing that they'll do is they'll set up tableaus in various places. This is, I think, in Barrio San Juan. Not that it matters to anyone, but anyway, I think that's where it is. This was at night, incidentally, shot on a not real good camera. This is several years ago, and so the lighting is pretty bad. But this fella is, he's not in fact actually nailed to the cross, but he holds that position for a considerable amount of time as part of the tableau showing the various things that Christ went through. There's another person who is not actually moving anywhere, but is holding a cross in this tableau scene that they have set up. The next thing I want to show you, Brian Philly in the Philippines had made mention of some carts that he noted out back of the church that they had visited. And I say had visited, they probably went to a service there, but in any event, he showed these carts that will carry statues and go through different processions, and often during Holy Week, and there are other weeks during the or other times during the year where they will parade, if you will, process around town with the various statues all lit up that the various churches and barangays and poraks have, and they all kind of get together and have a big parade around town. This one again was shot on an old camera that didn't have sound, so hence there was no sound. But there's usually a band that goes along, and the press session is long enough that the band can't play for everyone. So a lot of them will have a sound system, and they'll be playing some sort of music as they go along. And you note all of the lights there. A few of them appear to run off battery, but a lot of them have a portable generator. So there's a considerable amount of noise involved with the portable generators going by. Some of these carts are pulled by people, some are pulled by tricycles, some are pulled by Jeeps or jeepneys or whatever. There are a lot of other things that go on in the Philippines during Holy Week, but I won't get into those because I don't have any pictures that I've taken of those events, and I prefer for my vlogs to use things that images and movies and what have you that I have actually collected myself, rather than getting information from other places. So that's today's vlog, and feel free to ask any questions. Again, I invite you to check out Tok Tok Kali, Filling the Philippines. Another one of my favorites is Kuya Nation. Check him out. There's several others that I watch, and I'll give them a shout out here at some point also. But go ahead and check those guys out if you get a chance. Okay, so we'll see if we can get this one to go up, and we'll see what develops.